Hey folks, Dylan here. How is everybody doing out there? This week we're talking about letters, because I think letters are interesting. And we're going to kick off with something nice and easy. How many letters are there in this word? Is it 2, 3, 4? I mean, it's obviously 4, right? Let's ask JavaScript. What? Okay. I'm being a little disingenuous here. I mean, what kind of monster writes JavaScript in a variable width font? Well, let's fix that. All right? Interesting. Now we can see what we've got going on here. We've got the Latin letter I, we got the Latin letter J, and then we've got this thing here. And this is a digraph that's used in Dutch and Flemish, which I probably can't pronounce exactly right because I didn't grow up with it. As Wikipedia puts it, the pronunciation of IJ is often perceived as being difficult by people who do not have the sound in their native language, but my friends in the Low Countries have told me that A is close enough. Now, if you travel around the Netherlands or Flanders, which is the Flemish-speaking part of Belgium, you will see this letter all over the place. Well, you know, I say letter. What makes this interesting to me is that nobody's really sure if this is actually a letter or not. Let me rephrase that. Lots of people are sure whether this is a letter or not. It's just that 1, they don't necessarily agree with each other, and 2, they change their minds a lot depending what they are actually doing right now. The smart people at the Unicode Consortium have spent a huge amount of time grappling with the arcane technicalities of what a letter actually is. But as far as everyday life is concerned, to me there are 3 things where this matters. First, there is capitalization. In most European languages, the first letter of proper nouns is capitalized. Amsterdam has a capital A. Microsoft has a capital M. Second, there are crossword puzzles. 1 letter in each box. That's the rules. You can't go sneakily shoving more than 1 letter into the same box just to make the answers fit. And third, Scrabble. If it has a Scrabble tile, then it is probably a letter. Now, until 1998, there were 2 different versions of Dutch language Scrabble. Technically, there was Dutch Scrabble and there was Flemish Scrabble. Dutch Scrabble was sold in the Netherlands, and it included 2 of this tile. It's worth 4 points. But Flemish Scrabble, the version you could buy in Belgium, it didn't. If you wanted to play a word with I in it, you'd play it as 2 tiles, I and J. So let's imagine it's the mid-90s, and we are sat around one rainy afternoon in Eindhoven, and Aunt Marie has come to visit from Antwerp, and we decide to play a game of Scrabble. And after a couple of turns, Aunt Marie triumphantly plays IJSVRIJ, literally ice-free. It's when you get a day off school because everything is frozen. It's idiomatic Dutch for what we'd call a snow day. And in Flanders, IJSVRIJ is 1 plus 4 plus 1 plus 1 plus 4 plus 1 plus 4 plus a 50-point bonus for using all your letters. That's a bingo. Except Aunt Marie's not in Antwerp anymore, and now we have to explain to her that that's not how we do things around here, and IJSVRIJ is a 5-letter word, and it only scores 14 points, and she doesn't have the right letters to play it anyway. Now, I can't speak from direct personal experience, because none of my family are Dutch, but based on my experience playing English Scrabble with my English-speaking family, this is the kind of thing that could start a war. And wars are never a good idea, but this one would be especially bad because the land border between Belgium and the Netherlands is both incredibly simple and incredibly complicated. It is incredibly simple because there's been a free travel agreement between those 2 countries since about 1947, so crossing the border doesn't involve any customs or passports or paperwork, you just walk across it. And that's just as well, because geographically it is one of the most complicated borders in the world. It goes all over the place. There are bits of Belgium inside the Netherlands, and there are bits of the Netherlands inside those bits of Belgium. The border goes through villages, it goes down the middle of streets, it even goes through buildings. If war broke out, quite a lot of pubs would be at war with their own beer garden, and there is a house in the village of Bala where the kitchen would be at war with the living room. So, in 1998, the Dutch decided that just for once, the Flemish probably had the right idea on this one. The A tile was quietly removed from Dutch language Scrabble sets, and IJSVRIJ has been a 7-letter bingo word ever since, regardless of which side of the border you're on. Except that's only for Scrabble. In Dutch and Flemish crossword puzzles, you'll see A in a box all by itself. And when it's the first letter of a place name, yeah, both parts of the digraph will be written in uppercase, like IJSVRIJ here. So is I a letter or a digraph, or is it two separate letters? I suspect the answer is it doesn't really matter that much. And what systems like Unicode do in this situation is they give it their best shot. There is a Unicode code point for the A digraph. If you use it, your computer is going to treat it as a single letter. If you title case IJSVRIJ, you'll get a capital IJ, A, and IJSVRIJ will only score you 14 points. If you choose not to, IJSVRIJ gets a capital I and a lowercase j, and IJSVRIJ gets you your 50-point Scrabble bonus. Folks, I hope you found that interesting. Thank you, as always, for tuning in. You all have a good week out there. You look after each other, and I'll catch you all next time.